Hello Simmers and welcome back to the channel for a brand new review. Today we are going to look at the all new famous flyer, the C46 Commando by Aeroplan Heaven. This add-on is offered at the usual price of €15, with only 4 different liveries. This is quite few, but maybe it simply corresponds to the historical reality of this World War II aircraft. We will proceed as usual, and I am happy to announce that subtitles are finally back on the channel, so feel free to choose the language that suits you best. However, they are automatic translations, so they are never perfect, except for French, which I try to correct as much as possible. It may take a few hours to add them, so if you don't see them, don't panic, it's coming soon. In this part, after a long inspection of the aircraft, we noticed that there are some disparities in the realization. The external textures are really not bad. I really like the dirt effect added around the engines and on the wings. The level of detail is satisfactory for the price of the add-on. We even have inscription on the wheel rim, which is not a common detail. The cockpit window area is rather correct, and we know this is always a somewhat complicated part, even on the most expensive add-ons. On the downside, I noted a somewhat limited use of polygons for the 3D model, with, for example, the tail of the plane not being perfectly curved. If you look closely, it's a really honest rendering for an add-on at this price. Now let's move to the cockpit. Here I note real progress made by Aeroplan Heaven in the rendering of textures and light management. As with the exterior of the aircraft, there is attention to detail, the level of wear is well managed, and the overall rendering of this cockpit corresponds exactly to what we expect from an aircraft of this era. And let's just take a minute to have a better look around the cockpit if you want to buy this plane. But the immersion doesn't stop there, because the rear part is also modeled, thankfully for a military transport aircraft. But there's a catch: you cannot access it with the cockpit view, and I don't understand why. To me, it doesn't make sense. You have to switch to the drone view to examine this part of the plane, which is a bit of a shame, especially since everything is properly done, whether with the cargo, the jeep, or the general rendering, it's good. You know, if you follow the channel, that the sound part of add-ons is extremely important to me. It's really what gives an aircraft an extra soul and realism. And overall, here it's correct. It's not the best we have heard, but we have specific sounds in the cockpit for the windows, buttons, the doors. The engine sounds are a bit too muffled for my test, but unfortunately this is not a Aeroplan Heaven's fault, but a constraint imposed by Microsoft specifications. It's a shame because the roar of these two 2000 horsepower engines must be quite something. Same for the flyby sounds, it's better to forget them. So overall, it's not bad. We cannot ask for too much at this range of price, especially when we know the cost in time and money to obtain high quality recording and sound modeling. As for the aircraft systems, we are on basic features, which is normal for an aircraft of this era. No GPS, and it's a pity there is no modern option like for the DC-3 for example. Here it's a good old gyro pilot, which has the merit of existing to relieve you on long flights. The aircraft control on the ground is completely coherent for me. It is quite heavy to move but responds perfectly. The takeoff phase is a bit tricky because of its nose being 15 meters off the ground, but once in the air, it's a pleasure to fly. I noted the usual problem with Microsoft Flight Simulator, and unfortunately this add-on is no exception. You can try it yourself. All Microsoft Flight Simulator add-ons do this to a greater or a lesser extent. If you pull the stick up and down several times, the simulation reproduces the movements too quickly. Again, I've never piloted a plane, but it seems really exaggerated for an aircraft of this size and mass. I have criticized planes in the past for this point, but I understand I'm not perfect either, and we keep learning every day. Landings are smooth and easy if you maintain an approach speed around 100 knots. At least that's what I observed. Be careful not to do like me. I sometimes forget the parking brake, and with this type of plane, the result upon landing can quickly become problematic, as you can see here. The graphics part is correct, the sound part is correct, the flight sensation are good, we have some animations and details that we don't see elsewhere. For example, I really love the fact that you can see the pilot on the ladder ready to board. It's a tiny detail that doesn't change the quality of the plane itself, of course, but for me, it's always the details that makes the difference in a very competitive market. Seeing the pilot enhance the immersion as having a pilot and a co-pilot in a realistic outfit that you can make appear or not just by pressing a button. I really want to see this in a 777 or in a DC-6, I mean everywhere where it's possible. We always talk about realism, and well, isn't it the basis? Have you ever seen a plane with only one pilot? No, so this feature should be in all the add-ons. Okay, let's move on. I got carried away with this detail. In this chapter, I noted some flaws on the 3D model that I hope will be corrected. The sound volume is too low for my test, even though I explained why. No possibility to interact with the cargo, it's a bit of a shame. No GPS, and you cannot move around the plane in the cockpit view. In conclusion, who is this new C-46 for? I think all fans of aircraft from this era will be satisfied considering its very affordable price. Under these conditions, we cannot ask Aeroplan Heaven for the moon, as they offer us a well-made add-on certainly with some flaws, but which fits perfectly into the Famous Flyer series. Thank you for watching the video and for your loyalty. If you haven't done so yet, don't forget to add a like right here and subscribe. And if you don't, I will be forced to send a full squadron of F-35s over your house in the middle of the night. And believe me, you won't get much sleep. In truth, it really helps the channel and it shows me that you appreciated the work done for this video. Thank you all, see you soon, bye bye.